Good morning, happy Wednesday, and welcome to this week's free marketing training session. Today we're going to extend on our discussions from Monday about guest blogging, and we're going to go beyond just what is a guest blog post. Today we're going to get into how they can help your business, how they can increase your keyword reach, potentially help you increase your audience, and really, even more important than that, how you determine if a guest blog post opportunity is a good one for you for your website or blog. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's free marketing training. If you missed Monday's discussion about what guest blog posts are, the link is in the notes here. So go ahead and watch that video. It's real quick. It's about 5 minutes. But it breaks down what a guest blog post is so that you really understand what we're talking about. And then today you'll be able to learn and figure out if they're right for your business, because guest blog posts can be good and bad both. It really depends. And that's why it's important to understand what they are and understand how they can impact your business. So in the notes, we've got 6 quick questions that we're going to go through in today's training. So starting with question number 1, how does a guest blog post help your SEO? Guest blog posts are a core part of many SEO strategies and many SEO programs because they're one of the safe, quote unquote, safe ways that we can work on securing links for our websites or our clients' websites today in the post-Google Panda, post-Google Penguin era. Google is very, very particular about the type of links that we have on our websites and where they come from, and they want to make sure that they're very relevant to our website and relevant to our audience. So because of that, they've really cracked down on a lot of the old black hat SEO tactics that people did maybe 5-10 years ago, where they would just get a whole bunch of links. They would maybe buy links from somewhere and they'd get 200 for $200 or $300 or whatever. That practice is completely outdated and does go against Google's algorithms and Google's best practices today. So it's definitely not something that you want to pursue today. And you will still find people reaching out and saying, hey, your competitors are doing X. Do you want to buy some links from us too? I caution you, don't do it. Even if your competitors are doing it, it's not something that you want to do because it will get you in trouble with Google. If you've previously bought links and you're kind of sitting here going, oh no, then I want you to learn about a tool called the Disavow tool within Google Search Console. And you will need to learn what that tool is and use it to disavow any of those links that could potentially be damaging your website. So, how do guest blog posts help your SEO? They are, like I said, they're one of the few ways that we can really leverage link building today and follow Google's rules. They do help us they can potentially help us to increase our domain authority. Your domain authority is a number on a scale of 1 to 100 that really tells us what your website's potential is to rank for a given keyword. The higher the domain authority, the more likely you are to rank. The lower the domain authority, the less likely you are to rank. Your domain authority is just that. It's how authoritative is your domain in Google's eyes. Now, domain authority is not dictated by Google. It's actually a figure that's given to us by another SEO tool set company called Moz. And those of us who are within the industry trust Moz. We know them. We've used them for many years. They're actually the tool provider that I use for my agency clients because I know, like, and trust Moz. We talk a lot here about know, like, and trust. So they can help increase your domain authority. How do guest blog posts potentially help increase your keyword ranking? So they can indirectly help increase your keyword ranking because of the fact that they impact your domain authority. If you get a link from a highly authoritative site, say that you get a backlink from a site that's 80, 90, even 95 domain authority, that link is going to share some of their authority with your site. So if you currently have a domain authority of 10 and you get a link from a 90, not likely, it's not likely going to work that easily, but if it were to happen, then you would probably see a direct reflection in your domain authority and you would go up a few points. That's how it can help your SEO. It's also how it helps your keyword ranking. The reason it impacts your keyword ranking is that when your domain authority increases, your keyword ranking generally increases as well. In the Google search results, the pages that have a higher domain authority are generally the ones that rank higher in the search results page itself. It's not always the case, but it is generally correlated between high domain authority and high rank within the search results. And we've talked about this before. Google wants to make sure that they are delivering the most relevant, authoritative, correct information for their customers. So that's why those highly authoritative sites, those high domain authority websites, are more likely going to rank high for a search term. So the two go hand in hand. How can a guest blog post potentially drive traffic? So if you write a guest blog post and you submit it to a website that gets more traffic and it is something that is relevant to their audience and it makes sense and people are interested in it, they're likely going to click on the link within that post to go back and look at your blog, or they're going to see more information that you've shared. Sometimes if it's an entire post that you've done and you are able to include a call to action or an opt-in on that post that is your guest post, that's where it can lead to potential number 4, which is how can it grow your email list. So if you write a guest blog post on someone else's blog and they allow you to have an opt-in on that, or you link to a blog post on your blog that has an opt-in, you have the opportunity to gain a number of email addresses. And blog posts can be a great opportunity for you to increase your email list if you're writing information that is really relevant and useful to that blog's readers. And that blog's readers are your ideal customers, or they would benefit from your services. So that's how we can not only increase our traffic by having more people see our content, but also increase our email list by offering that opt-in on that blog post that we do share on another blog. Now we're going to get into some of the more involved. Now you understand the benefits, but let's talk about how we determine if the opportunity itself is right for your business. And this is one of the most important things when it comes to guest blogging, because while there's a lot of opportunity with guest blog posts, we can increase our SEO rankings, we can increase our keyword rankings, we can drive more traffic, we can help build our email list. There are some other issues here. Guest blog posts take time. You've got to work with the webmaster or blog owner. You've got to come up with a topic that's going to be interesting to their readers. You've got to set up the information and build out your author profile potentially. You may have to submit a headshot. You may have to submit your links. In some situations, you are actually pitching them before you have the chance to even secure that relationship and start writing for them. So there can be a lot of legwork in addition to the actual writing of the post, creating the opt-in, building out whatever tracking you're going to do on the back end to see what you got from it, etc. So there is a lot of work involved, but it can be very, very beneficial to you if you choose them the right way. So how do you determine if a guest blog post is right for your business? The first thing I want you to do is really understand who you would be partnering with. And I'm going to share this because it's one that came to me. I ended up choosing not to partner and not to share the content that was sent to me. So I run a content marketing agency, and my blog focuses on SEO, social media, and content marketing strategies, along with general marketing strategy and kind of how we pull everything together. So that's my target area. I receive guest blog post examples, requests, infographics to share, things of that nature from other vendors, tool companies, etc. on a weekly, sometimes daily basis. I get a lot of people who pitch me who want to be part of what's going on with the Etched blog, and they want to have me share their information. Some of them I look at and I feel like, yes, this is really good. This would benefit my audience. Others I have to determine, I appreciate the offer, but it's just not quite the right fit. So I had one that came in recently, and it was a great infographic, and they had a blog post that went along with it, and it was super relevant content, really, really relevant. And I do believe that that information could have been very beneficial for my audience. However, when I started digging into the actual content that was produced and the infographic that they had sent, the link that it would go back to was a site that I was not comfortable linking to from my site. While the information was relevant, the link it went back to had something to do with adult material. We'll just leave it at that. It was adult material related, even though it was an infographic about content marketing and SEO, and it had lots of really relevant information. If I dug back far enough, it was tied to adult material. And I don't want to tie my business to adult material because that's not what my business is about. So I had to choose to turn that one down. And that's part of the decision-making process, is not only is this information relevant for my audience, is it going to help them? Is it going to help build additional credibility or provide additional value for my audience? But am I partnering with someone that I'm comfortable partnering with? Is this a brand that I want to be associated with? Is it someone that I feel like it's equal? It's someone who I want to essentially endorse, because yes, I would be getting a little bit of benefit from their website, but at the same time, if it's going back to that site that's adult related, that's a link that I might even want to disavow through Google Search Console, at which point, why am I partnering with them and accepting that link that could potentially raise my domain authority if I don't feel that it's the type of link that I want for my site? So those are the things that you need to look at. You need to really understand who their audience is. You need to understand who they are. And just because somebody's pitching you and asking you or offering content for your site does not mean that you shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that you should. It means that you should take a few minutes and look into it and determine, take a look at their domain authority. If you don't know how to check their domain authority, you can check that out through a tool called the Open Site Explorer. So if you just go to Google and search in Open Site Explorer, I believe it's opensiteexplorer.org, that'll pull up. You put in the URL that you want to check, and it'll pull up and tell you what their domain authority is. You can use that same tool to determine your domain authority. Generally speaking, you're going to have more benefit if you are accepting a link from a site with higher domain authority than your own, because that's going to help build that authority for you, because the links are seen as a sign of kind of an acceptance or an endorsement of your website from that other site that's linking to you. So that's something that you want to look at, is what's their domain authority. You would want to know about traffic. If you're hoping to get 1,000 people to read your blog post, and you do a guest blog post on a site that gets 150 visits a month, you're not going to get 1,000 people to read it because they don't have 1,000 people to read it on their site. And only a percentage of the people who read it on their site are going to link over to your site. So you want to understand what type of traffic do they get, what is their domain authority, what's their focus area, what type of content, who is it linking back to. Those are all the things that you want to look at as you're trying to determine if that opportunity is right for your business. And then the last thing I want to touch on today is just, should you accept guest blog posts on your blog? And I've seen a lot of questions about this, and a lot of people really aren't sure, and they don't want to get in trouble with Google, but if it could benefit them, why wouldn't they do it? Because it's hard to continually write content, and they, by having somebody else guest blog for you, you don't have to be the one to write all the content all the time, and they go back and forth and in circles trying to figure out what to do. So this is a question that you really have to answer for yourself. What you want to think about if you are going to accept guest blog posts, you want to make sure that you have final approval of what is edited and what is published, because you want to know that you have final editorial control over what is published on your website, because whether it's your post or not, it's your website or your blog, and that's your audience. And it is your job to protect your audience and to make sure that everything that you're sharing on your blog is beneficial to them and will help them move forward. You don't want to take guest blog posts that are irrelevant and your audience is going to feel like they're wasting their time by reading, because then they're not going to read, and then they're going to be less likely to be interested in your next post or your next offer or whatever it is that you do after that, because they feel like you've wasted their time. So you really want to make sure that you are protecting your audience, you're protecting your blog. If you're having people reach out and it's a PR firm or a marketing agency, don't automatically don't automatically say no, because like I said in the beginning, this is a very common SEO link building tactic, and it's something that many companies are doing, and they do partner with PR agencies and they do partner with marketing agencies, and there is a big benefit to it. So just because somebody's pitching it and wants to partner with you doesn't mean you should say no. It means you should look into it and weigh the opportunity and really understand, does it make sense for your audience? I've worked on both sides of it. Having run content marketing teams for a large agency, we worked to launch products for clients. And I had one where it was a nationwide sporting goods retailer. And I mean, picture you're going and you're buying all your tailgate information and your tailgate materials, and you're getting ready for football season. And this is one example that we did. So nationwide sports retailer, and we were working on tailgate season because it was summer moving into fall, and we created an Ultimate Tailgater's Guide, and it was an ebook that they could get on the website. And our social team worked with some influencers. So influencers can be similar to a guest blog post, because with the influencers, they worked on creating the relationships. They found people who were really relevant, who had audiences that were local to our brick and mortar locations, people who had good followings, who were really interested in it, sports fans, families, etc., where there was just a really good synergy between the two. So our social team then pitched this tailgating guide, and then the other fall priority was turkey fryers. So the social team pitched the turkey fryers and the tailgating guide, and we had one blogger who said, I would love to do this. I've always been interested. I've never tried turkey frying, but it would be so much fun to try to do a fried turkey and do it as a write-up for tailgating to kick off football season. This is a perfect fit. I love it. That type of opportunity is fantastic. Some of those will be paid opportunities if the the influencer has a good social following and engagement and, has a domain authority that's high enough and all of that. There'll be, sometimes there'll be some money involved with something like that. If you do accept money for it, you have to declare that. There are rules and regulations and things that you have to follow. If you're doing it on social, you have to use the hashtag sponsored or ad. Make sure you're following those rules and regulations, and make sure you're checking to see what they are before going live, because you don't want to use misinformation and get yourself in trouble. So make sure you're up to date on what your requirements are if you're doing a paid partnership or paid sponsorship for your guest blog post. But in that type instance, that's one where it would make great sense. Hi, I have this football tailgating blog. I talk about being a football mom and games and things you can do at home. And here, this is a company that's saying we have this great tailgating guide, and one of the ideas is turkey fryer and making fried turkey. And it was a perfect partnership. That's what you want to look for. In that situation, had it been a different client, so I had another client who was a outdoor goods manufacturer, that would have still probably worked, because this particular influencer happened to be in the Northeast where it was very cold. They could probably do something with warm jackets or gloves or whatever. But if it was, say, my designer handbag client, that wouldn't have made any sense. How do you write a blog post about designer handbags on a football blog? So that's what you want to look for. Just think about how the blog post and what they're selling or what they're talking about relates to the audience that you have on your blog. Is this something that's going to be beneficial? because if it is, then it can help you cut down the amount of content that you have to create. It can give you something new to share with your audience. So there's a lot of benefits to both sides. If you have any more questions about guest blogging, how to determine if guest blog posts are right for you, how to find those opportunities, these are all things that we'll be teaching in our SEO Fundamentals course that will be coming up soon. It'll be starting hopefully in March. We're getting really close. We're working on a website launch right now and a blog launch, and everything is looking amazing. We're getting really, really close to getting that all live. I can't wait to let you know when it's all ready. And then the SEO Fundamentals course will be our first live, or not live, but our first training course that we'll be offering through Etched Marketing Academy. And it's going to teach you all about the on-page, the off-page, the authority building, how you find these guest blogging opportunities, how you determine what you need to do with your website, everything you need to do so that you can increase your rank, increase your traffic, and make more money at the bottom. The bottom line for most business owners is more traffic, better rankings, more traffic, more money. That's what most are looking for. How can you help more people? How can you grow your business? So that's a lot of what we're going to be teaching in our SEO Fundamentals or SEO Foundations course that's coming very soon. I cannot wait to share that with you. I will be putting an interest list up on the new website very soon. So we'll be forming that and let you know as soon as it is available. I can't wait to share all that I've learned managing multi-million-dollar, some of them tens of millions of dollars SEO budgets and revenue for clients. So I'm really excited to be able to bring the strategies that we've used for such big brands to you, the small business owner and entrepreneur, and make sure that you are doing things the right way so that you get the results that I know are possible because I've seen them firsthand. So I can't wait to be able to do that for you. As always, so thankful that you could join us this morning for our SEO for our free marketing training session today. And I look forward to talking to you again on Monday for our quick marketing minute. And then join me every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, where we go through one marketing topic. There's more information about guest blog posts on the website, on the blog. I've included that link. And as always, if you have not yet joined Marketing on a Shoestring Budget, it's our Facebook group for small business owners and entrepreneurs and startups, anybody who needs to understand how to market their business the right way, but just doesn't have the budget to hire a professional yet. That group is for you, and I'd love to have you join us. The link is there. We spend a little bit of time each week talking about marketing strategies and what everybody's working on and where you need help, and really try to make sure that we get you moving in the right direction. So again, thank you so much for joining me today, where we talked about guest blog posts and how they help your SEO, if they can impact your keyword rankings, they can, how they can drive additional traffic, they drive traffic because the domain authority can increase, which increases your keyword rankings. When you rank higher in the search engine results, we generally see an increase in our traffic to our website. They can help us grow our email list by adding an opt-in or including an opt-in with the blog post that we publish or on the landing page that we link back to from that blog. And then we talked a lot about how we determine if a guest blog post opportunity is right for you and whether or not you should accept them on your blog. And with those 2 points, the most important things to think about are your audience. At all times, stay focused on your audience and make sure that you are providing value for them. And if you're providing value for them with that guest blog post, then you're probably going to be okay. Just follow through the notes, look at the examples that were given, and just make sure that you're making the right choice. If you have questions, certainly leave a comment and let us know. Thanks so much. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.